The list of things to stress about in 2020 is long. The year is filled with uncertainty and constant change from the time we peel open our eyelids in the morning until the moment our head crashes into the pillow at night. We may not be able to eliminate our stress in 2020, but what if we could put it in a chokehold and teach it who the boss is?
Today, we will share a simple process to reduce your stress, even if you're running around at a hair-on-fire pace, and how to reverse engineer your stress to respond in a healthier, happier way.
Let's do this. Hey, it's Devin and Kendra here. There are a lot of things contributing to our stress this year. The good news is that we're all in this together. Never before in recent history has there been a shared experience to this magnitude, an experience that has us all saying WTF in unison.
The most common question we receive around getting things done are about procrastination, how to focus, etc. The one that's almost never addressed in productivity is stress. If you think about our minds like an operating system for a computer, that base operating system needs to run smoothly for all the apps or tasks you might need to do throughout the day will be affected. Running everything you do on top of a stressed operating system leads to overwhelm and sums up how a lot of us are feeling right now. We have two strategies that will help your mind's operating system run better even under stress.
People who are paid to deal with crisis situations can teach us a lot about how to ease stress. One of the ways first responders stay calm during chaos is that they zoom in and manage the moment. Let's look at how we naturally manage the moment and how to apply this strategy to reduce stress in 2020.
You can see here there are different levels of zoom you apply to your life depending on what's happening. Under normal circumstances, when everything is great, it's easy to plan your year or months because everything feels predictable or in our control. However, as life becomes more chaotic or massive change is happening, we need to consciously zoom in on how we process or plan into smaller, more manageable chunks. We may not have control or the information we need to make decisions in the larger scope of time.
In 2020, you may need to ask yourself, how do I win the week? If your week becomes too overwhelming, you may need to zoom in to the day or hour. What do I need to do to win the day, or even as small as something to think of as this hour? In extreme situations, your brain will zoom in for you if it's in a stressed state. For example, have you ever dialed 911? Did you know it takes an average of 15 minutes and 19 seconds for help to arrive? In that moment, your brain forces you to manage minutes, maybe even moments, to cope with the insane amount of information and choices you need to process at lightning speed.
This is exactly how first responders stay calm in chaos. When a firefighter runs into a burning building, they zoom down to a time frame of minutes. They have to decide what has to be done in the next 60 seconds to rescue or save a life. In some professions, like fighter pilots, they manage moments to the smallest degree. In this photo, a fighter pilot zooms in to eject from his F-16 jet less than a second before he hits the ground. A second! Where we see ourselves and our viewers struggle, especially this year when things are anything but predictable, is we argue with reality. Our default mode is to plan and process our lives in years or months. But in 2020, for most of us, that's not an option. And it creates this crushing amount of stress and a loss of control.
If you're experiencing stress in 2020, you're in good company. When you notice yourself feeling stressed, zoom in and gain perspective and keep calm to keep moving forward. Consciously accept that you need to tackle life in smaller chunks of time like days, hours, or even minutes if you find yourself in a crisis situation. Once your stress begins to reduce, you can start to zoom back up and tackle larger windows of time. By drilling down to the smaller parts of your day, you can compartmentalize time into smaller chunks where your brain can more easily manage things and reduce your stress.
What if the goal wasn't to fix our stress, but just to understand it? Many people tell you to eat a stress ball or breathe deeply into your diaphragm, but it doesn't actually help you stress less. The biggest problem is actually that we see stress as a problem. To reduce your stress this year, know your monsters and get clarity on what you care about.
Our monsters are those unknown, scary things beneath the surface of our everyday stress. They're the reason that we feel upset or anxious when certain things happen. Instead of trying to eliminate your stress, aim to understand it by sitting with your monsters. There's no need to change anything in the moment. After all, stress is a sign you care about something. You won't stress about things that you don't care about.
The next time you feel stressed, stop and try to find the monster. What do I care about in this moment that's making me stress out right now? Feeling stressed your kids can't go back to school this fall? It could be a sign you care about their education, your ability to perform at work, or you're craving certainty with your schedule. Get to know the monsters beneath your stress. Our unknown monsters are the scariest ones. Get to know that deep side of yourself that's the source of the stress. You can take your monsters out to lunch and get to know them better.
After you're clear on what you care about, you can find more helpful ways to respond and take action in a positive way. Just thinking about stress differently will help you cope. See stress as a direct connection to all of the things you care about most, and then make any positive choices you can to improve the situation. Or accept it if there's no positive choices that you can make right now.
A stressful life is a meaningful life. We are stressed because, ironically, we have a lot of things to care about.
Zooming in and knowing your monsters are two strategies you can use to reduce your stress with any tomato 2020 might throw your way. If the drastic swings in the stock market are bothering you, zoom in and focus only on what changes that need to happen that week or day to prevent overthinking the impacts that it may have on your finances throughout the year. Your monster behind the stock market might be that you're truly concerned about your savings and ability to provide for yourself and your family later on in life. Spending time with yourself to sit with your monster so it won't pop up and scare you in the middle of the night.
We care deeply about helping everyone navigate through their stress this year. If you have any resources or information that might help someone else who is struggling, please share that with us here on this video or anywhere on social media. If you found this video useful, please pass it along to someone else whom you think might benefit from learning these techniques. Each person matters. Thank you for watching, and
we love you.